I'm sure nothing's going to go wrong. I'm sure everything's going to stream perfectly fine. It looks all okay. So I guess I can start with the intro. Hopefully this is up and running. So decided to do something a little more relaxing today. Hands are a bit sore from all the Zelda I've been playing. I'm a little worn down from all the editing I did yesterday for my Let's Play series. So I thought I'd play something a little more casual, a little more fun for me. I have never played Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth or the other Miles Edgeworth game. I think there's a second one. So I have not played these. I do love the Phoenix Wright universe. So I imagine I'm going to enjoy this because, I mean, it's just Phoenix Wright, right? Like, what can't I love about this game? So we're going to go ahead and do this. There's no sound at the start. Like, there's no music. I don't know if it's broken or not. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it though. My hair's a mess today. I look like a mess because I just like kind of been working myself to the point of being really, really tired. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. I'm sorry I look like crap. Like, what can you do? Okay, there is sound. Well, that's good. Turnabout visitor. Let's go ahead and do it. And I actually got posters and stuff that I need to put up on these walls, but I haven't. So March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Super duper early. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Ooh. That looks like Edgeworth's, coat. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. So much like the Phoenix Wright games, they always give you the villain from the start, so that way you can kind of figure out how to basically get the guy. So March 14th, 2:05 a.m. It is still really early. Prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? What the? What's the meaning of this? Hi, 8-Bit Owl! Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Do we have the same mic? My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. I finished photographing the... Oh, it's... I gotta be another different person. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Let's go shoot. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He is a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine, however. Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say the culprit sullied my floor with dirt, rather. Well, no one gets away with tracking mud into my office. I'm cleaning the apartment up from all my gross, so I'm a lurkin'. Aw, I hope you're on the mend, 8-Bit. I know you weren't feeling so well. Whoa, sounds like you've really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Okay. Crime scene, my office. Is it really coincidence that the murder took place in my office? What is that? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? Yeah. For security reasons, this office door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? Gumshoe doesn't know how to use logic. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall information through the logic button and then connect them together. Now, to touch the logic button and recall the facts. Okay, so, thank goodness we're doing a tutorial. Connect my thoughts. So, the crime scene of my office links up to the office key, I guess? Because... Okay, I have to understand what we're logicking here. So, we're logicking that it can't be a coincidence because there's a lock built into this. So, somehow, someone had the key to get in here, right? So that's the logic. For security reasons, all the prosecutor's doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Files? They're scattered all over the floor. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. So there's the life bar from the Phoenix Wright games. But if I think carefully before piecing threads together, the logic should flow. Let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Okay, so that gun is real suspicious. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Well, if you ever feel lost and just want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. So I guess he's my hint. Okay. Wow, so like the Phoenix Wright games, you don't get a chance to kind of like walk around in the space that exists. But in this game you do. Okay, so that gun is real suspicious. I want to examine it. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. Why would he have dropped his gun there? Like, we were in the same room. You would not drop your gun. That's kind of strange. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. Okay, revolver, found at the crime scene. It's the same model as those used by the precinct detectives. I mean, prosecutors do work with detectives a lot. So, I suppose that's where he got it. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Wallet. I think it's a wallet. It looks like a wallet. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. I hope you... Oh, it's a police badge. Oh, it looked like a wallet. My bad. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the same exact thing, actually. What a coinkydink. Let's take a look inside. Police department. Buddy Faith. Oh, so maybe this is where the gun came from? Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. The victim was a detective. According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. Okay. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Okay, so... I was gonna look at more stuff, but I guess... My bad. I guess it's enough that I know that the victim was a detective and the revolver. Those two go together. Or they're the things I assume go together. They sound the most together. So, the gun belonged to that detective? Is that the logic? The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. The guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Victim's revolver data jotted down in my organizer. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't the only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I've always say, you gotta really look at really carefully at each piece of evidence. Use the scroll wheels to rotate the object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out and get at the nitty gritty. So, what are we looking for? Oh, I know. We're probably looking for the bullets. bullet fired, which was the bullet that we fired at the painting. Or not the painting, the uniform that was hanging on the wall, but that doesn't make sense unless he was killed by something other than a gunshot. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Miss Edgeworth? I have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I need to know if he died from a bullet. Let's give the body a once-over. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet... Oh, it looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yup, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the... please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. My voice is mixing together. So, there's books, files, and files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I came in and cleaned this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to, Jim. Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. With blood all over him? Sure, just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Oh, I really don't like this guy's, appearance right now. What voice should I give him? Like a jock voice or something? I guess? I don't know, hold on. How do I do a dude bro voice? Where are my manners? Okay, like, I guess like that. Bleh. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jock Sportsman? Jock Sportsman. Oh, Jock Sportsman. Jock Sportsman. I get it. I'm Jock Sportsman. Prosecutor. Jim here with my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth? I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. How did he get in here? That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal, you've got it all wrong. Everyone, calm down. Mr. Bortzman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call it truce and work together, okay? How about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there, sir. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. I should probably give them some space. What sort of person wants pictures of themselves? So stupid. What else is there to examine? I'm guessing he's not going to let me examine over there anymore. Something maybe over by my desk? It's been a while since I sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy that it looks newer than when I first bought it. Oh yeah, that thing's so polished it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. Is something knocked over back here? I don't want to talk. I guess it's nothing important. Oh, it's your trophy, the, Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. It's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir! I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Okay, what's over here? This was the thing that got shot at. Ah, your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but shot your jacket as well? Yeah, that is strange, considering that, you know, only one bullet was fired from the revolver. I mean, do people normally replace one bullet in that situation? Or is there like another gun? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Now when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Yeah, the bullet, right? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence, or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Okay, so this is the whole bullet thing. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. If I spot something off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. Deduce. When I have found the sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. So, only one shot was fired. Eureka! Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled the frame. Sorry, I'm yawning. I even made sure to put like some shots of caffeine in my drink. Wake up, Mina. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Okay, so I don't know much about guns, so I wouldn't know. Another handgun. Other than a victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? By the way, I noticed... Oh, by the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? That. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! Well, spare some trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusting. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here. I kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Oh, well, the prosecutors are supposed to have that knowledge of their existence. So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Probably evidence? Oh, nothing. I don't know. Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. Yeah, I figured. Miles isn't the type to keep anything inside his safe other than work, right? All work and no play. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Yeah. Wait, was there a handprint on there? Oh, it looks like somebody was trying to get into it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Look at that. That looks like someone's touched it. With their hands. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. So was the other guy who had his gun pointed at me that shot at the frame, was he not Jock over there? Was he like some other dude who just happened to be there? Because I'm guessing that Jock was the one trying to get into here, because he's a prosecutor, so he would know about this. I guess. I don't know. Secret safe data updated in my organizer. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Okay, so... Oh my gosh, we have... Let's see. My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and killer. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? Wiped fingerprints. All of the fingerprints on this have been wiped clean off. The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? Okay, so I believe these two go together. Because it's... Why is it specifically in my office? So I'm guessing that has to do specifically with this, so let's see if I'm right. Ah, looks good. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? I don't see the connection to the another handgun, so I don't understand how these two connect. The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? And then my files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and killer. Does that mean... maybe he was also going through the files? Is that what it's trying to say? Okay. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between a victim and his killer. Okay, so it could be him just like rifling through it all and dropping it on the ground. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. You need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir! I was gonna shelve the files like you've never seen before, even at the library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. I don't like that he was just down here next to this dead cop the entire time. Like, maybe he was like messing with like the evidence over here. Who knows? I'm suspicious. You got it. Here, let me help. I don't want your help. So this file goes here and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. How did this guy die? So, like, did he get shot and somehow, like, how did that even work? I just want to know how this death happened. Like, did he just, like, get shot and then, like, maybe he grabbed, like, his chest and then, like, he fell backwards and, like, put his hands there and then slumped to the ground, I guess? I don't know. It appeared that the murder was definitely committed here. Ah, the blood stains on the bookshelves are still fresh. I suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell on the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. This is scratch marks on the back. Detective, I don't think we have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm not good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Hey, look at this bullet hole. That's a bullet hole, right? That's not right. So, this is where the bullet lodged itself in after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in the file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. So did, like, the guy shoot him from, like, up above? Like, how did that... I mean... I guess? You would think that, like, the bullet hole would be up here, though, you know? The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands. Okay, so... blah, 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 blah. We already looked at that. I mean... put them all back. Oh, I missed something. Yoshi! Hey! Hey, Mina, I thought I would say hi fast. I am not home already. No problem. I put them all back just as they should be, sir. It doesn't look like anything's missing. Although, it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. Okay, so something's wrong here, right? Hold on, let me look through my stuff. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. it shouldn't be there. Wait. What did he say? Whoa. Hold on. Indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. So these should not be at the bottom. So have a nice stream. See you all later. See you later, Yoshi. Okay, so this should be up there, right? It's the only thing I can see that's off. We'll go with the abdomen one because I don't know where. Yay! Easy contradiction. There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this bookshelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The order of the files? I believe that the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see how these files were just shot began with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. These white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. This doesn't make sense. Unless maybe the second guy who came in was the one who, I don't know, like shuffled them incorrectly, like ransack, I don't know. Do you think it's okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. I don't think you're supposed to ever move the body. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. What is that over there? 205? Oh no. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Face, and then put them back in numerical order. Oh, and then put them back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. He then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man, then look through But why would someone kill a man and look through your files one more time? This is an excellent question, one that I do not know the answer to. Puzzling indeed. Files were thrown into disarray once before and once after the crime. But why? 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 Now the crime scene is as it was the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Okay. What is this? Gumshoe? Well, what is that? Why does it say Gumshoe there in blood? I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity, indeed. No, wait! There's gotta be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? this what the killer was really after? Huh. Stolen file data jotted down in my organizer. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! Can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words! They're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it! It's confusing. Why would he... If you're going to leave behind evidence of, like, someone... Wait, what? You have a cam? I do have a cam. So if you're going to leave evidence of, like, someone else being the murderer, why would you also take one of the files? Because it's very confusing to do both of those things at the same time. If you're going to leave behind evidence to, like, convince somebody that someone's killed, you'd leave it all there. You wouldn't take the file there. You would take a different file elsewhere. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna follow this logic and figure out what's going on. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. There must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig it out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Give me the advice. Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence. So that works like Phoenix Wright. So I got that much. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct, and at those times I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing I can draw out new information and new or modify. Sometimes by pressing I can draw out new information and new... That does not English. That does not English. I don't know how to fix that sentence, but it does not English. Draw out new information and also new or modify the testimony. I don't know. We're skipping it. That sentence is not English. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Alright. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft and said, you know, this murder is really strange because number one, took a file that had the name of who he was going to commit the murder of and also dropped the gun on the ground. Why would you do all these things? No murderer would ever do this. Very confusing. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody litters his body was hiding. And it'll be his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice. He's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe was the culprit here. I'll find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Alright. Now the one that's confusing... This one right here doesn't make sense. This one doesn't make sense because the file was stolen. And logically that means that... Like, he would have had to have noticed because the file was missing, right? right? Stolen file. Stolen file. Didn't notice. Present.
Objection!
Looks good. I think I got it. Yeah. Alright, got it. See, that didn't make sense to me, so that's good. That's good. We're following the game's logic. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. So, he doesn't know about that missing file, which means the second dude who was in here was the one who had it. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take a file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine.
Objection!
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters on the detective's name where the file should be as proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half of an H. Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case. I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? A fraud? Makes it the work of the criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get him, sir! You'll see, I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time! Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving of an Olympic gold! I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however... Now what? What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. What the... What is he doing? What was that about? That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. And why do I sense that you still have something to say? What is... Oh, alright. Well, I was thinking, did you know that there's one other person with the key to this office? Edgeworth? The building manager? I don't know. Security? One other person? Hey, you there! Yes, sir! What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort the lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No! Stop it, pal! Don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Who is it? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Maggie Bird? She's from... Gosh, she's from, like, one of the earlier Phoenix Wright games. I think she was, like, from, like... Was she from the case 1 of the second game? Maybe, I think. I don't remember. What voice do I give you? Maybe something meek.
Detective Gumshoe, sir?
Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. Aw, she really is unlucky. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in the building. What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with the access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room!
That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me, that's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it really wasn't me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. This is ridiculous. This little shirt flaring thing is silly. I can't handle it. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. What? Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only our Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. Why would she have done that? That doesn't make sense. So you're saying that she used the master key. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match is always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Okay. I see nothing here that I can expose, so I really do have to press him. Okay, let's do this. Press this one. We press everything. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes, I need more info. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe this is an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know, why do you have the master key now?
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Huh, a likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. Can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I am done taking blows. Time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Does she know about it, though? Is it prosecutors? Okay.
Objection!
Maybe. It looks good. It looks good. The bar went away. It didn't blow up on me. Do you wish to continue insisting that Ms. Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. It may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that a safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. That's true, because the desk and everything else was tidy and immaculate. So whoever it was like, it ain't in the desk that I'm looking for. Genius, Edgeworth. You're smarter than me. Yeah. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. Oh, don't you... piece of human trash. Alright. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. Still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who was probably drawing his gun. I get it. It was a self-defense, wasn't it? No! I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have the key to the office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? This stupid shirt opening and closing thing. You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Alright, I'll drink something. Okay. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir! We have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now, if you could just remove yourself from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We'll meet again. If that's a formal request from a legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. But don't disappoint me, you hear?
Grr, this guy. What a jerk. Alright, yes. Save. Save.